I am so excited to take you on a tour of my fully decorated home for fall. We are touring the foyer, the bedroom, the kitchen, the breakfast area, the family room, and the dining room. We've got so much to do, so let's get started. Now, we just came right through the front doors. Flanking either side of the entryway under my porch are two large cypress trees in some beautiful containers. I added a fall leaf garland to either side. These leaves are winding up the trees. And then I also have one large acorn that I added to the base of each of the containers. This is a classy way to welcome your guests into your home without it being overly decorated, but yet it still says happy fall. Now here we are in the foyer, and this is one room that you have not seen yet. So let me show you how I decorated this space. First up, we have this cozy bench. I love having a bench in the foyer, that way people can sit down, take their shoes on and off. Now to this bench, I have added this beautiful faux fur throw. It is so soft and so cozy, and the taupes and the browns go perfectly with fall. On top of the throw, I have this plush velvet pumpkin. I purchased this at Hobby Lobby. It was 40% off, which makes it so affordable. Now, we do not want to leave our pumpkin plain. So what I did was first up, change the stem because it was brown. So what I did was I got some Rub and Buff and I added a dab of this Rub and Buff to a tissue and wiped it all over the stem. You can see how much better this stem looks now. It's going to coordinate beautifully with the other gold stems that we have on our pumpkins throughout our house. I also have added this little segment of lace. This is some gold lace, and I simply just trimmed it off a larger section of lace, and then I added it to my pumpkin with this boutonniere pin. Now these boutonniere pins have a little pearl on the top, and all you need to do is just poke these right into those plush pumpkins, and they stay in place. I love the contrast of this gold against this dark green color. It's such a beautiful and luxurious look. Now to the stem, I took a segment of satin ribbon. I wrapped it around the stem and then tied it into a bow. Now we have a luxurious pumpkin that's going to look beautiful on our bench. Now this also kind of reminds me a little bit of a pillow, so it goes great with the other pillows that we've got on our bench. I have this fawn spotted pillow. The design on this pillow is just fabulous for this autumn season. Behind the fawn spotted pillow, we have this crushed velour green pillow. Now, if this fabric looks familiar, it's because we used it last week to cover up a pumpkin. Well, I had some leftover fabric and I thought it would be a great opportunity to create a makeshift pillowcase over a down feather pillow insert. So let me show you really quick how I did this. I just took the fabric, I placed it decorative side down on top of my table, then I placed my pillow insert in the center. Then I pulled up the sides of the fabric, and guess what, you guys? This fabric does not fit all the way around. Look at that giant gap in the middle. Oh well, it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it anyway. So what I'm going to do is hot glue this fabric in place. I covered up the majority of the back of the pillow, and now I have a customized pillow that fits in with my color scheme. Is this pillow covering a long-term solution? No, but will it work for fall? Absolutely. So I'm going to take this beautiful crushed velour pillow and set it right behind our fawn spotted pillow. If you have extra fabric laying around your house, give this a try. I think you will love the way that it looks. Now over here, I have a small marble side table, and to the top of this table, I added a large ginger jar. Around the neck of the jar, I added a satin gray ribbon and tied it into a bow. And then I took a few stems of fall leaves and added that to the center. Adding these decorative items to the bench in the foyer is a great first impression to give your guests. Not only is it cozy and warm, but it also introduces our color scheme for fall. Now the accent color that I'm using throughout my house is this dark green. I love this color. It's warm, it's rich, it's luxurious. And the first time you're introduced to this color is right here in the foyer. Now that our foyer is decorated, let's move on to the bedroom. Here we are in my bedroom, and let me show you how I decorated my nightstands first. I found these wood acanthus leaf wreaths at Walmart. They are a great size, and I absolutely love the design of these wreaths. These wreaths were only $5.33 a piece, and what we did was we just spray painted them gold and added some white flowers, some fall leaves, and a blue ribbon. And to hang them up on my mirror, I'm using some fishing line. I tied it around the wreath and then poked it into the wall above the mirror with a tack, and now these wreaths can hover ever so mysteriously in front of our mirrors. Let's move down to the top of the nightstands. Right here, I've got a ginger jar, and I took a blue satin ribbon, wrapped it around the jar, and tied it into a bow. Next to our ginger jars, I have these large vases. These are for candles, but instead of putting candles inside, what I did was I got 2 plush pumpkins in this gorgeous white cream color, and then I also have some gold pine cones, and I just added those to this container. This is an easy way to theme something that you already have into fall by simply adding fall-themed items inside. These nightstand displays look so luxurious. The accent color in my bedroom is a shade of blue. We've got some blue ribbons that you've seen, but we're also going to add blue to our bedding. Now, bedding is such an easy way to theme your bedroom seasonally by simply swapping it out. What I did was I found these gorgeous blue silver pillows at HomeGoods, and then I've got this beautiful bird pillow that has that same shade of the blues and the grays in it, and the brown themes this into fall. Plus, I love birds. I've got birds on this pillow and I've got birds on my lamp, so those coordinate together great. After I swapped out my pillows, I added an additional duvet to the foot of my bed. This just makes this room feel so much more cozy. And guess what else makes it feel cozy? A tray filled with some yummy breakfast pastries. This tray is a recent purchase. I got it at HomeGoods. I love the gold and the lucite on this tray and the mirrored bottom. On top of this tray, I've added a plush blue pumpkin with a blue ribbon around the top. I've got a small cake stand, which I added some yummy pastries to and topped it off with a cloche. And then down in the front, I have a gold leaf bowl. I added some more pastries to that and then added a few more leaves. Am I going to keep this tray out all fall? No, I'm not, but I think it looks so cute displayed at the end of my bed right now. Let's now turn our attention to this side of the room and our fireplace mantle. On this side of the mantle, I have a tall white ginger jar. This ginger jar coordinates with the ginger jars I have on my nightstand. I also added a blue ribbon to this jar, which ties the ribbons together as well. I placed this jar on top of a small round marble stand, which gives it some height. I've got another one of these plush pumpkins in that blue color, which coordinates with the plush pumpkin that we have on our tray. I have this beautiful decorative acanthus wreath that's on a stand, which coordinates beautifully with the acanthus wreaths that we have hanging in front of our mirrors. I've got the same leaves that we have throughout the room as well. And then on this side, I added a beautiful fall print. This print is from my website. The green in these leaves is beautiful. It's a deep green and it goes with the jeweled tones that we are going to be using throughout our house. I placed this print in a decorative gold frame and added it to a frame stand. I have a mini blue plush pumpkin right here. I've got some leaves that I added. And then we have a tall candle right next to our pumpkin. I love the fall touches that we added to our bedroom. It did not take very long to do it. This room still looks very elegant, classy, streamlined because we didn't decorate over the top. Now that we're done decorating here, let's head to the kitchen. Here we are in the heart of the home, everyone's favorite space, which is the kitchen. Let me show you the centerpiece that I created on my center island. Now we're gonna start off with this vinyl runner. This is great for a kitchen because if it gets spilled on, no big deal, wipe it off and you're good to go. I purchased this at Home Goods. On top of this, I created a marble riser. We used a marble tile that I purchased for $12 at Lowe's, added some feet to it, and now we have a beautiful classic backdrop to all the other items that we're gonna add on top. There is a little bit of a gap between the bottom of the tile and the top of the countertop, which is fantastic because it gives us another way to add some fall items to our centerpiece. So I just grabbed some fall leaves, some sage green leaves, and some gold leaves, and I just tucked them right underneath the tile. I have this large apothecary jar that I filled up with some fall botanicals and some of these magnolia seed pods. Remember these? These are from my tree outside. They fell on the ground. We took them outside, spray painted them gold, and now we have a free jar filler that fits in perfectly with fall. So I filled up my glass jars with these. I also have some white ginger jars. The one on the back I placed on top of a marble round to give it extra height. To add one more fall touch, I have some wood acorns that we painted gold and then attached these acorns to our jars with some ribbon. This is a great way to add that subtle touch of fall without it going overboard. To ensure that it's the focal point, we took a large cloche and put it over the top, which now makes it the standout feature on this centerpiece. The final touch is to add a couple little pumpkins and leaves to the center. This was an easy centerpiece to put together. I love the way it looks. It's elegant, but fits in perfectly with our seasonal decor. The next part of the kitchen that we're going to talk about is my amazing water filter. This is the AkuaPure water filter by TOKIT. Seems like no matter how hard I try and drink enough water, I always fall short. So I need a hydration hero, which is exactly what this is. This amazing water filter showed up at my door and it was so easy to assemble. Once all of the water filter pieces were in place, I filled the tank up with water, and once it got to 99, it was ready to be used. This filter has a multi-stage RO filtration system with double UV sterilization, effective removal of 99.99% of bacteria. I'm going to do a little demonstration of how amazing this actually is. I'm going to take a 2-liter bottle of cola and fill up the container that's meant for the tap water. I'm going to let the filtration do its job and look at the crystal clear water that is coming out now. It takes cola and turns it into drinkable water. This filter turned cola into delicious pure water with low TDS. That example of water purification just blew my mind. Now you also have a selection of volume that you can use to fill up your glass. You've got the 4-ounce choice, you have an 8-ounce choice, you have a 17-ounce choice, and then you have a max amount. So I'm just gonna take my cup, put it underneath this water filter, select the amount of volume that I want, and press the button. And here we go. I've got the exact amount of water that I want. And not only does it work volume-wise, but check out the selection of temperatures that you have to choose from. You've got a frigid 5 degrees Celsius in 1 second, which is so refreshing. With its refrigerator-grade compressor, this innovative system delivers rapid cooling and can chill water faster than a standard fridge. So you can have access to a crisp, ice-cold drink with its ultra-continuous cooling feature. And it goes all the way up to a 99 degrees Celsius temperature. Now, the good thing about this is that this filter does have a lock on it, so you have to hit that unlock button before you work with the hot temperatures. You can begin to fill up your cup and check out how steamy this hot water is. This water also tastes amazing because it has a activated carbon rod that's added to the RO filtration system to improve the taste. My family has absolutely loved using this water filter, but I love it because I know that they are drinking clean, pure water. Staying hydrated has never been more refreshing and reliable. I'll leave a link to this water filter in my description box so you can head on over and check out this water filter for yourself. On either side of my stovetop, I created some mini displays. These displays are going to start off with a rectangular marble piece. I purchased these at Ross. On top, I have a floral arrangement that I keep out for the majority of the year. To theme this arrangement into fall, all I did was take some mini pumpkins and add those into the arrangement. I've also got a battery-operated lamp, which adds so much light to this under-counter space and highlights the additional fall items that I have below, which are another pumpkin, some leaves, and one of those magnolia seed pods. The mini displays coordinate beautifully with our centerpiece. They work together beautifully. They're not overwhelming, but they add a touch of fall elegance to our kitchen. If your breakfast table is anything like mine, it is used the majority of the day. I've got kids eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, so I had to keep the centerpiece small and easy to remove. So what I did was I got a soup tureen. This is a soup tureen that I purchased at Ross a few years ago. And what we're going to do is turn this soup tureen into a container for a flower arrangement. Now, I actually purchased 2 of these. I think some of you may have seen the floral arrangement that I made for the mystery box challenge. Are you a bulk buyer? Because if I see something that I like, I buy multiples of them. So thankfully I bought 2 of these beautiful pumpkin soup tureens. Now what we're going to do is add a tape grid over the top. I added 2 lines of Scotch tape vertically and 2 lines of Scotch tape horizontally. Then I just grabbed a whole bunch of white and cream flowers, and I'm actually borrowing that green sunflower that I used on the mystery box flower arrangement because it fits in so beautifully with our green color scheme. So I just added all of these flowers into the soup tureen. And look at how beautiful this additional floral arrangement in the soup tureen pumpkin looks. This is the perfect addition to this breakfast table. I'm gonna set it down in the center of a tray, and it is a show-stopping centerpiece that is simple, small, and easy to remove so it doesn't get in the way of anybody having a meal. Now it's time to move over to the fireplace mantle. Nothing screams fall like fall foliage. So that's what I added to my mantle first. I have stems of cream leaves, I've got some sage leaves, and then I also have some sparkly champagne colored leaves that I got in the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby. Don't skip the Christmas sections. They have some fabulous things there. And right now everything's 50% off, so it's very affordable. So now that I've got my bed of fall foliage down first, I'm going to add some of these velvet pumpkins. These are from Hobby Lobby as well. These pumpkins are actually what inspired me to choose the dark green color as our accent. We beautified these pumpkins even further by adding a sage velvet ribbon and a gold leaf. I've got two of these. I have one on this side, and then I have another large one on this side. Now, to go along with these leaves, I have these leaves in the center. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby as well and spray painted them gold. To coordinate with our kitchen apothecary jar, we have some apothecary jars on this side. I have two jars. One is quite large and one is the exact same jar as we have on our kitchen island. Now, inside of these jars, I've got some pumpkins, I've got some more of those fall leaves, and at the top, I added some more of that sage ribbon. That way, this ribbon coordinates with the ribbon that we have on our pumpkins. And then, of course, we've got another one of those gold leaves that ties everything together. In the center, we have a beautiful fall print. This print is from my website and it ties all of the colors together. It's got our sage colors. It has some more muted tones of orange and reds, and it's in this gold frame, which is just simply stunning. Switching up your artwork is another great way to change out your decor seasonally. Now, because we have such a beautiful mantelscape, I wanted to carry that down to the hearth area. Down here I have two lanterns, and of course we're going to be using that same sage ribbon. I also have some of these sage leaves, and then inside of the lanterns I've got some leaves and acorns and a pumpkin. This entire fireplace wall is a gorgeous fall scene that gets me so excited for the cooler weather, the upcoming holidays, and the joy of the autumn season. We are moving right along to the dining room. Before I show you the dining room table, I've got to show you this adorable setup that I have on this side table. Now, last week, Natalie and I went to Goodwill and found some thrifted items that we flipped into some beautiful home decor. One of those items is this tiered tray. I love the scallop detail on this tray. And to this tray, I've added some pumpkins, some acorns, and some leaves. On this side, I have this candle that's in a pumpkin tureen. If this pumpkin tureen looks familiar, it's the baby version of the big one that we have on our breakfast table. I added some wax to this and turned it into a candle. I'm going to set this on top of a gold leaf tray, and then in the back I've got a marble pumpkin that I set on top of a frame stand. This is an adorable display that is the perfect backdrop to the main event, which is our dining table. So let's check that out right now. Let me show you how I styled this table. First up, I have this gorgeous cream tablecloth with some gold flecks running through it. Our individual place settings have a gold charger, a beautiful plate with some gold scalloped edges. In the center, I've got a napkin with a crystal napkin ring, and then I've got, of course, my silverware and a green goblet that goes beautifully with the color scheme. In the center, we've got these huge pumpkins. The first one started off as a lamp from the thrift store. I flipped that into this gorgeous pumpkin. I absolutely love it. To this pumpkin, I added some lace. I've also got a wood leaf and a gray ribbon. The gray ribbon ties everything together. Do you remember that we had the gray ribbon on the foyer pumpkin? Having it in the dining room and the foyer ties those spaces together. Next to our large lamp pumpkin, we have a smaller pumpkin. This started out as a teal foam pumpkin. I went to Hobby Lobby and I found that green velour fabric, and I wrapped the pumpkin in this luxurious fabric. Just like our large pumpkin, I'm going to add one of those wood leaves. I'm also going to add that gold lace, which is a beautiful contrast in color against that dark green. And then I've also got that gray ribbon, which I simply just wrapped around the stem and tied into a bow. These pumpkins are the focal point on this centerpiece. They are stunning, gorgeous, and they started out at the thrift store. So if you're wondering how to create a beautiful centerpiece on a budget, hit up your thrift store and see what you can find. Now, along with our pumpkins, we also have some tall tapered candles. I love adding candles to a dining table. I think it adds a beautiful warmth and glow. I also have some smaller pumpkins that coordinate with our larger green pumpkins. These pumpkins also got some lace, which I attached to them with that boutonniere pin, and then I took some of that gorgeous satin gray ribbon, wrapped it around the stem, and tied it into a bow. I put these pumpkins on top of some mini cupcake stands to give them just a little bit more height and interest. And then I've also got some of those little teeny mini pumpkins. These are also green, which I absolutely love. And you've seen them in the kitchen, and now you can see them in here. They coordinate beautifully with the other green pumpkins that we have going throughout. And I love how small they are. It's fun to add some little teeny touches of fall as well. To finish off this centerpiece, I've added some leaves. These are those same gorgeous fall leaves that we have used throughout our home. I love the way that this dining room turned out. It is so festive in an elegant and classy way. I think that this color scheme and the color scheme throughout the house proves that you do not have to use those traditional bright oranges and reds if you don't want to. You can pick whatever color you like and integrate that color scheme into your fall decor simply by using seasonal items that are that color, like those pumpkins and the leaves and the ribbons. And this room coordinates so beautifully with the foyer because you can see both spaces at one time. I wanted them to coordinate. You can see that we've got the same velvet pumpkins. We have the ribbons that coordinate, the leaves, and the fabric. And that's it, you guys. I'm done showing you all of the fabulous rooms that we have decorated for fall. We did so many DIYs, and because I had a plan from the beginning, everything coordinates throughout my home beautifully. It's festive, yet still neutral and classic. Each room has subtle touches of fall and celebrate the beauty of this autumn season. I hope you can see that you can live beautifully, you can do it throughout the year, and you can do it on a budget. I've got so many fabulous seasonal videos coming up, so make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss out on any of those. The final thing I'm going to do is just take you through one last walkthrough. I'm not going to talk, it's just going to have a little bit of music, so enjoy the tour. Happy fall. you.